Hey everybody, Adam Savage from Tested with Brandon Ellinger from Prop Store. Hello, sir.
Hey Adam, good to see you.
Good to see you. I have some excellent news for everybody out there. Johnny Five is alive. Dude, you have Johnny Five from Short Circuit right here.
He's alive and he's coming to auction this November.
This is coming to auction?
This is going to be auctioned. Yeah. This is, I think it's the first one that we've ever had go through auction. And what's really cool is it's first movie. So all first movie. Short Circuit #1, Johnny Five.
What year did Short Circuit come out? Is it
That's a good question.
Early 80s,
I'm going to say
yeah?
84, 85.
Yeah.
Check us, listeners.
This is a
Something like
really
that.
interesting fandom for this film because when I talk to people about Johnny Five, obviously I know a lot of robot people, but there is a particular love for this robot in film that few other franchises get the frenzy of fans of this film.
And what do you think it is?
Well, I mean, he was actually a truly functional robot.
Right.
I mean, he wasn't autonomous. There was
Yeah.
a bunch of amazing puppeteers and engineers keeping him going. But like, this was one of the earliest films that had a mechanical character that actually functioned through the movie.
And very believable.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like every bit of it, the tread system, the arms, the pulleys, it looks like it could all come to life, right?
Yeah, there's no suspension of disbelief with this.
Yeah.
This is just, okay, sure, this is what we could have in our houses.
Yeah. This one, not quite a real robot. There's a little bit of functionality in it. We were studying it recently, and I think there is some real motors up in the head. So maybe there's some kind of functionality up here, maybe with the eyes.
So you think this maybe have been a stunt version?
Stunt hybrid, because it definitely doesn't have a drive system down the treads. That's dummy. It's a lightweight version. There are some real motors in the shoulders and arms, so I think maybe the arms could lift up and down, but you can tell the cables going to the fingers are just dressing, and the hands themselves are static. So I think, obviously they built different versions for different shots, different purposes. I read in Cinefex that they wanted some lightweight ones that they could just knock around if it needs to fall over, that sort of thing. That's probably what we're seeing, but it is an intact version, and I think probably was left by production in exactly this state. So that's kind of cool.
That is really cool. I mean, there's no color variance in the pieces. They all look matched to each other. I'm seeing so much evidence of what I used to do tons of, which is vacuum forming. This part, these pieces, the fascias over here, just tons and tons. They had to have had a factory of parts for making a whole bunch of Johnny Fives.
Absolutely, and I wonder how many they did make, because they definitely had a bunch, and I'm sure they had multiples for different purposes.
Yeah.
I know I've seen one other out with collectors in the past that was mechanical, and it had like a backpack type system with the puppeteer straps into it, and as you move I think they call it a Waldo system, it mimics you. As you move your arm, the arms move. So obviously, they would have had a huge budget to build this character for this movie and a huge amount of work. The lead guy, I know his name was Eric Allard, had a company called All Effects, and he is the creator of Johnny Five for Short Circuit.
It's an incredible achievement. The bot itself is aesthetically and mechanically an incredible achievement, but I'm also astounded by how much I'm so used to seeing something like this where there's a whole 15% just gone, right?
Yeah.
Or wasn't dressed because it was off camera, but you got a completely dressed and painted, even if it was meant for pushing off a shelf.
Right. Could be shot from all sides, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I see some resistors in here that could actually be from the Ghostbusters proton pack.
Oh, is that right?
Well, not quite. It's close.
Same era, right? They're probably shopping for parts at the same place.
It also looks to me like this, like the tread is actually a manufactured part. I can't imagine them. This looks injection molded to me.
Okay, that's a good observation.
I'm kind of curious.
I wonder what they would have salvaged that from.
Yeah.
Some kind of belt drive, something.
I mean, because it actually functioned, right? It drove itself around.
Yeah, not this one, but some of them, yeah.
Now, when you sell something like this, you can't just put a box around it and ship it to someone, right?
I mean, this
There's a
came
whole
in,
cooperation around
Yeah, I mean, moving pieces like this, you're working with freight companies. It really needs to be crated. It came in with a skeleton crate framework around it.
Yeah.
Depending on where it's going to go. If someone local purchases it,
oh, that would be
they
great.
can just come and get it. But if it needs to transport anywhere, it's really got to go into a crate. You got to brace it from all sides and make sure nothing's going to shift around. It's a bit of a process.
I imagine.
But it can be moved. I mean, we move things like this around all the time. We've definitely moved more complicated pieces than Johnny Five. So
I have a hard time imagining something more complicated than this to get somewhere in one piece. It is really, really beautiful.
That's the shoulder cannon, which I know in the second film that transforms into a toolbox or is replaced by a toolbox.
Oh, right, I forgot about that.
There are some definite differences in Short Circuit 1, Johnny Five versus Short Circuit 2, which is how we know this is a first film unit. I think this is a real radio antenna there.
Oh, from one of the ERC?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's probably linking to something going on up in
And
the
you also
head.
got some great kind of, this also looks like it could be right out of the RoboCop in some of the, in
Oh,
some
yeah.
ways,
Yeah, I could see that.
aesthetically.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, it's a combination of real functional parts. You can see real chains in here with gears. It looks like it could be a motor in there, but I think there's nothing actually in there.
Now, the auction that this is part of is happening later on this year. When is it?
Yeah, it is November 3rd to 6th. It actually takes place in London. It's our big annual auction of the year in London. A lot of great content in there, including Short Circuit Johnny 5. He's going to stay here with us in Los Angeles, but will ship to the winning bidder anywhere in the world.
Awesome. And Tested will actually be going and doing some coverage of some of the pieces from that overseas.
Which is very cool. You guys are going to have a lot of fun because you've never been to Prop Store in London, right?
I have not, even though it's always called Prop Store of London. In my memory, I'm always adding of London to the name.
There's a lot of great stuff there. a lot of spacesuits. Stephen Lane is a fellow spacesuit enthusiast, so I think you're going to have fun.
Excellent. Brandon, thank you so much. What an unbelievable piece. And I'm going to spend some time taking some photos if that's okay. We will see you guys next time.